Rangers 3, Partick Thistle 2, 5 goal thriller, VAR disasters, and penalty decisions that were abominable, man. I don't even know where to begin with this game. I'll tell you where I'll begin. We let Partick Thistle score a goal, and I had us -1, and it's cost me like 400 quid. If that ain't where you begin, where do you begin? I don't know what Beale was doing there, but we'll get to it later on. And yeah, we were abysmal, right? And see when Beale says, "Oh, we can cope without Morelos and Kent," can't we? Because that has to be the worst first half performance I've seen. Well, probably since the Champions League games, alright, where we were getting scud at 7-1 and 5-0, 4-0, right? I don't want to talk about them, but under Beale, easily worst performance. And let's be real, right? See that team that we fielded there in that first half? See without Kent Morelos, that is like our strongest team. It really is, and Goldson, of course, but he's not got contract issues, so he will be staying. But so people can't argue that. They can't say, "Oh well, it was a youthful team." I mean, yeah, youthful. I mean, you've Tillman, you've Hadji, you've Raskin, you've Cantwell. All young guys. But at the end of the day, they're starters in that team if they are performing to their abilities. But I'll give Hadji the benefit of the doubt because the guy has had like a 14-month injury, and it's his first start, and I still thought he was creative for how bad he was, but there's one guy I thought was the worst of the lot, and that's Cantwell. He was a fucking passenger in that game. He truly was. He was fucking atrocious. I don't care what anyone says about Cantwell. He was absolute shite against Championship Partick Thistle. Like, see, anytime he's getting played through the right, through the left, he can't beat a man and he can't outmuscle a man, and 9 times out of 10 he will lose the ball in that game. Now, he was alright I think it was last week, I think he was alright in that game. But honestly, I thought if I was staying player ratings, big man Todd would be definitely getting the worst ratings in this game. I thought he was fucking wank. I thought Sands was absolutely atrocious too. Davies, again, was he good? No. I think it just proves that Connor Goldson is by far the best centre back. But we knew this. But I mean, again, Goldson, loads of mistakes in him. Tav, thought he was atrocious. Actually, you know what? Raskin was good. Raskin was good. But let's talk about the penalty. Partick Thistle have a ball whipped into the box after a few world-class Al McGregor saves, may I add. I mean, there was not a chance in that first half. You went, aye, we should have scored that. No. Partick Thistle probably should have been 1-2-0 up at the break, but they were 1-0 up via this penalty that, I mean, I'm lying in the couch, right, and I'm sitting looking up, and I'm looking at, and I can't even see the ball hit his hand, but I mean, I stood up, then I see it, it skims off his hand, right, but it hits off his hand when Sholak is in mid-air on one leg. I mean, who jumps like the plank? You're supposed to jump like this. Disgraceful decision, right? And see these people that say, "Oh, it just favours the old firm," blah blah blah. I mean, or just Rangers in this case, right? We have seen in the Premier League yesterday with Arsenal, they didn't even bother their arse drawing the lines. It is used to manipulate games. Now, your team may get benefits for that, or it may not, but are you trying to tell me if Rangers are 3-0 up in this game, they fucking give that? No chance. They knew 0-0. Aye, we'll give Partick Thistle to take the lead at Ibrox. That's my opinion, personally. There's no fucking chance they give that at 3-0. There's no chance to give it to us at 3-0. It's just one of those decisions that they've plucked out their arse and gave it. Holt steps up, very well taken penalty. Partick Thistle lead into the break in that game. Again, I'm in disbelief here, but we do get substitutions. We do get Cantwell coming off and Hadji, which I think had to happen. We see Kent come on, and again, Kent automatically changes the game. We get a goal with Kolak, brilliant for Raskin. I think you can just see his ability here alone, man. Fucking sends the guy to the shops. Chipped ball at the back post, Kolak heads it down, 1-1. We then get a penalty. Again, I don't even think this is a penalty. I mean, this is Rangers getting the penalty, nothing to do with Partick Thistle. The contact is clearly outside the box. Tillman falls in the box. Therefore, it's not a penalty because the contact is outside the box. I mean, if you shoot someone outside the box with a double barrel shotgun and they fly 20 yards into the box, it doesn't mean it's a penalty. It just means it's murder and it's a free kick. The point stands. Tav steps up. It's an abysmal penalty. He goes down the middle and the Partick Thistle goalie right hooks it to fuck. And then we get the incident that has essentially cost me a lot of fucking money because Tillman, right, closes down the big man at the back. I don't even know who it was for Partick Thistle. Basically, it's actually kind of irrelevant who it was because he sends him. He then absolutely skins and destroys their entire club. He literally does. He destroys them, puts it past the goalie, 2-1. And after it, there's this fucking. The Partick Thistle players push Tillman to the ground. Get Raskin running about 50 yards, diving Chris Benoit headbutt, all this sort of stuff. And then I'm thinking, well, this is probably going to get disallowed. But then if you think of it, it's not going to get disallowed because it's just that, a sportsmanship thing. And then I'm thinking, right, we've got 20 minutes here. I just need us to get one more goal for my -1 bet. And then Tiffany, a guy called Tiffany, just runs through and no one's marking him. And I'm like, the fuck are we doing? Is this a false kickoff? Because the volume was down pretty low. And then, yeah, McGregor thinks about going for him and just lets him walk past him and he scores it. 2-each. And I'm sitting there thinking, what is Beale doing here? And I'll tell you what, right? This is only get done because it's Partick Thistle. You trying to tell me if Rangers in the League Cup final with 10 minutes to go, they score a goal very similar against Celtic. You try to tell me Beale's going to go over to Ange and be like, you know what, Ange? We're going to let you go up and score a goal. Are they fuck going to do it? I mean, I don't want to say it was virtue signalling because it's not quite that, but I mean, it was like, oh, look at us. It was an attempt to show that, look at me, I'm Michael Beale and I'm the man. I wasn't a fan of this. I hated it when Leeds did it and I hated it when we did it, right? And it was a atrocious decision by Beale. Thankfully, it didn't come back and bite us in the ass because we got another goal. Whether it was an own goal or Sands, right? And then Tillman unlucky at the end also not to score, which would have won my bet. But of course, that's the only reason he didn't score was to fuck me. But, say Partick Thistle scored late on to make it 3-2. I think there's going to be a lot of people that would have turned on Beale. I mean, a lot of people, I've seen Twitter, a lot of people have already turned on Beale, saying it's going to take an awful lot for him to get their trust back. Personally, I'm not at that level, but at the same time, it's a fucking joke for Beale. Why? Why? Because it wasn't like it was completely outrageous. The guy went to boot up the field and took a touch, and it almost did look like the heavy touch was him continuing playing. Tillman took it clean off him and scored. Is there any proof they were going to boot it up? And whether... I don't care. I don't care. We've won. And the performance itself was shite. Does not fill me with any confidence whatsoever. We're against Championship Partick Thistle, and we've scraped it. We've absolutely scraped it. And in my opinion, yeah, I know two shit goals they've scored, and we've also missed a penalty in there. But at the end of the day, man, it's embarrassing. Fair play to Partick Thistle. They brought 2,500 fans. It was a really good atmosphere. I mean, it was a fucking good game, if you're a neutral, but from a Rangers point of view, the only positive is we're through. Apart from that, it was abysmal. And until next time, man, 300 quid down, or 400, whatever, I don't even care, man. Beat.